Are you waiting for the new releases in 2021? Me too, but I'm also hoping that these games that were announced in Asia and China a short time ago announce a global version. It's important to know that only the Asian region, including China, represent more than 60% of the income of the mobile game industry in the world. This has made its market grow a lot, and that they focus on the development of games mainly for that region. In fact, many of the most popular games released globally belong to Asian companies. Just as we have games announced for this year globally, in China and Asia they also have their own list, so let's get to know them. At number 5 we have Binary Gods, game that it's being developed by the Taiwanese company Royark. They are known for having developed games like Citus, Demo, Boys and others, and if you know games from this company you will know how well they focus on the development of the story and the characters of their games. What we are watching on the screen, it's not a gameplay, it's a concept video that is something similar to what they will develop. Apparently, it will be a 3D action role-playing game set in a futuristic world. At the moment, we don't know more about the game. Its trailer was released about a month ago. To be honest, if they had presented a concept like that years ago, I would not believe that they can develop something similar, but comparing it with the games that have been released lately, I believe they can do something like that, and there are several examples. There is a chance that the game will have a global version, as the company has several of its games released globally. However, some of its games have only been released in Asia or China, so we will have to wait for news and a real gameplay of the game. The game number 4 is Eggy Party, a social and competitive game that was announced recently by the NetEase company. When the trailer was released, many people compared it to the game Fall Guys. The game is actually very similar in terms of gameplay and maps, but apparently it will have more varieties of minigames and more actions in the gameplay. One of the things that took my attention was the customization of maps. Apparently players will be able to create their own maps and play on them. Hopefully, if the game does well, the company will consider making a global version. The NetEase company has many games released globally. However, some of their games have been released only in China or Asia. At the moment, there is not much information about the game, only that they will be launching an open beta on February 6. If I can access into the game without problems, maybe I'll do a gameplay and upload it to my channel. At number 3 we have Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds. To let you know, Ni no Kuni is a series of role-playing games which began in 2010 with its first game for Nintendo DS. In total, they have released 5 games to date and on different platforms. The game was expected to be released in Japan in 2020, but its launch had to be postponed. What we have seen of the gameplay is that it will be an adventure game in an open world. One of the particularities of the game will be the PvP mode, where up to 3 players can fight against 3. In the game there will be 5 classes and you will have up to 6 abilities that can be activated. One thing that could be noticed about the gameplay is the automatic button. Of course, this does not influence in the multiplayer battles, but it can be used in the adventure mode. However, this has generated many negative comments. From my part, I hope they don't add this button in the final version of the game. At the moment, there is no information if the game will have a global version, but apparently it will be available in Asia, so it will be a matter of waiting for an announcement. To let you know, this mobile gaming company has approximately 18 of its 33 mobile games in global versions. Our next game on the list is Sword Art Online Black Swordsman Ace, an open-world MMORPG with an atmosphere and story focused on the first season of the anime. Graphically, the game looks very good and has had good reviews from people who participated in the beta. The most relevant things that could be observed in the game was the customization of the characters, that it's quite extensive, the visual and physical effects of the game, and as I said before, a lot of similarity with the anime story, and various mechanics that will be similar to the anime as well. Apparently, the game will use a gacha monetization system, and the most important thing is that there is not automatic button. I hope they keep it that way. And now we're going to talk about the possibility of a global version. The companies that are behind the development of this game are Bandai and Bilibili. The way in which these companies release global versions of games is a bit particular. From what I could investigate, is that there must be a tertiary company that is interested in taking the game globally. So this will highly depend on the success of the game in China and the interest of players from other countries. On the other hand, usually Chinese and Asian companies do not have the intention of launching global version of games of this genre, and there are many games that were never released globally and that we would have liked to play them. So once again, it will be a matter of waiting for good news. Before going to the last game, I wanted to remind you that in case that there is news or an announcement about the games that I have presented, I will be making updates in the description of the video, so don't forget to check it, especially if you are watching this video out of date. So now, the game in position 1 is Project Gaia, a game developed by a new company called Gaia Foundation, and they have decided to create a zombie game quite different from the ones that currently exist. The game was announced a month ago, and a beta was opened, showing just a bit of the game. What we know so far is that the game will have 3 game modes: Story Mode, Cooperative, and Survival. The game will be in third person and will have an interface similar to other shooters. Apart from the classic zombies, there will be also zombie bosses which are more resistant and have extra abilities. As I mentioned before, the beta was released recently and it only showed a small part of the game according to the developers. But there were many negative comments because those who tested the game complained that the game was not optimized. There were no options to change the graphics and a very powerful cell phone was required to play it well. You can clearly see that the game has high graphics, but come on, it's only a beta. For sure, it will improve a lot in the final version of the game. And regarding the possibility of a global version, there is not an announcement, but there is something in the menu that gives us a clue about this. It's that some small announcements of the game were translated into English. This might open up the possibility of a global version in the future, but once again, it will be a matter of time to find out. If you're watching this video long after the date it was uploaded, don't forget to check the description to have any updates of the games. I am constantly uploading very interesting content related to mobile games, so don't forget to subscribe and I hope to see you soon.